Hey everyone, I'm Jay Rodriguez and welcome to Vibe with Pride. Now listen, Vibe with Pride is a monthly series that helps you get closer to LGBTQ artists in the nightlife scene. Our series is sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Thank you so much, Tito's, for helping support San Diego Pride throughout the year. Tonight, we're going to be talking about ballroom culture. Now, maybe you've seen Paris is Burning, maybe you're a fan of Pose or Legendary, but you don't know much about the ballroom scene. Well, tonight we've got three incredible individuals who are a part of the ballroom scene in San Diego. And to be honest, I feel quite ignorant about ballroom culture. Maybe you know a lot about it, but I expect to learn a lot. And as always, at the end of our conversation, we're turning things over to you, the viewer. So I want you up in the comment section asking the questions that you want answers to from our guests tonight. So you can leave comments or questions in there throughout the chat, but we're going to get to those because we want to vibe with you. Now, before I go on rambling, it's time to introduce our three very special guests for tonight. Please welcome Strawberry Corncakes, DJ Pru Flo, and Mia Pearl.
Hi.
Hey. Mia Pearl, I love that you just threw on something casual, you know.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this out there. You know, we can go round robin, or someone can take the lead on this one. What is ballroom culture? Because a lot of us have heard it, maybe we've seen depictions of it, but how would you describe it?
Ooh, ballroom culture is definitely about confidence, darling. It's about confidence, it's about family, and it's about unity. That's what it's about. So regardless of what house you are from, it's about respect. And I tilt my hat to the young children in town, these two that I'm so gracious to be here with this evening. I tilt my hat to these two because they're bringing it back here in San Diego, darling.
I love that so much. Strawberry Corncakes, how did you get involved in the ballroom culture scene?
So growing up here in I'm born and raised here in San Diego. And when I started coming out to like Hillcrest, which is like the gay scene here, I didn't really see myself out here. And I didn't start coming out to Hillcrest until I started drag. So I didn't see myself out here. I didn't see like, you know, representation for like Black queer kids. So about like a year into me doing drag, I was like, there needs to be like a ballroom culture here. You know, I've never been to a ball. But I literally watched Paris is Burning fucking like every. Oh, can I cuss on here? Probably not.
Sure, we'll bleep it after. It's fine.
I watched Paris is Burning all the time as like a kid, and I was like, I want that here. So in 2016, I went to one of the bars, and I was just like, hey, you may not know me, but I want to start a ball here. And they were like, okay, who are you again? And I'm like, I'm Strawberry Corncakes. So I started a ball there, and then it was just like a hit. And it just goes to show that people here in San Diego, like the queer kids, like the people that don't normally come out, you know, that don't see themselves out in Hillcrest on a daily basis, they were looking and needing a place to go.
Strawberry Corncakes, to your point, the first time I ever saw myself reflected in cinema was Paris is Burning. It was the first time that I, even being from New York and having been out in queer spaces, it was the first time I saw majority people of color, queer, gender nonconforming, in a film. And I've never felt more seen, especially because I was playing Angel, a drag queen in Rent at the time on Broadway, but I felt like I was in the minority of folks and in nightlife, and this made me feel more seen, getting to know people in the culture. But DJ Pru Flo, same question. How did you sort of discover ball culture and the ballroom scene?
Same thing as Strawberry Corncakes. I watched Paris is Burning, and it was one of those first gay films that I was able to see growing up. It showed me really a sense of community, and it really was a great project to teach me of my culture and teach us of all of our cultures. Actually, Strawberry was the one that brought me in as a DJ for her second ball. And at first when she asked me, I was like, you know, I really don't know the type of music. And she was like, figure it out. And one of the best things I could have done is learn and actually research, listen to the music. And it showed me there's so much more to ballroom than just, you know, doing an amazing Vogue or walking a category. It really is about community. And just like Mia Pearl said, a sense of respect and respecting yourself and having confidence in yourself to do that.
Yeah, Mia, you did mention family, a sense of community. When we talk about, I know a lot of people know houses and all that stuff, but I don't think they really understand what goes into creating and crafting an evening like a ball. So can you just kind of give the viewers just kind of a window in to what a family is? And if a family is going into a ball, what does that really look like? What is that about? How does that go down for us ignorant folk?
Thank you for asking. I sit at the head of the House of Africa. And so my children all represent, all my children represent a different animal from the continent of Africa. And it's all about family and how we approach the ball scene. And so you want to have this uniformity, and you have the head of the household, and you have everyone that has a special talent. So what I can't do, one of my children can do. And so we give an all-around wonderful show when we walk.
That's incredible. I know that, you know, when people of color and happen to be LGBTQ plus, I think exponentially face higher rates of experiencing homelessness and really desire and crave a sense of community. It seems like a lot of people have found that in ball culture. I want to talk a little bit about, you kind of touched on it, Mia, the categories of the competition. Can you kind of share with us what some of the categories are at a ball?
Oh, the categories are endless. So you can have the face category, you can have the body category, you can have the walking category, you can have the posing category, you can have the voguing category. There's so many categories. And what's beautiful is you, regardless of your size, your age, your ability, you can find a category to participate in. And you can walk in there, not know anyone, and find a category that you feel comfortable participating in and make a name for yourself and build your own house. And that's what's really beautiful about the culture. And I miss that it was gone for so long. And when it comes to San Diego, these two young people are bringing it back big time.
I love that.
Someone like me, when I was younger, back in the 90s, and I started going to the clubs, we didn't have a lot of that here in San Diego. I would have to travel to Los Angeles to get some of the ballroom feel. And it started to die out. And what can you do? But, you know, we give credit to shows like Legendary and like Pose for bringing it back. And then these young people reinventing the ballroom scene. And me sitting there judging people raising their tens, or -3, you know, with these queens or whatever. It's just wonderful to see that it's coming back and the different art forms and how it's evolved. I love the evolution and how people are being so contemporary with their looks. And it's really a fun part of being out in the community and participating. Not everyone's a drag queen. And so it's someone that may be femme, that may be non-binary. You come out and you find your place wherever you feel most comfortable. Find your place and be that.
Yeah, Mia, you were kind of touching on like this sort of expression of freedom, and it doesn't matter who you are, you can find that in ball culture. Strawberry Corncakes, when you think about what that feels like to be a part of a ball, can you describe it to some of us who maybe have never participated or been in the ballroom culture, that sense of freedom and being your authentic self and putting on a show? What is that like for you?
Well, Well, for me, like I said, I didn't see myself when I started coming out to like the neighborhood and stuff like that. So when I started to create the balls here, like, and starting to see people be themselves, like, and like just feel free, and even like, you know, come up to us, you know, me, the performer, the judges, like DJ Pru Flo, and just like tell us how happy they are to just like, you know, and thankful they are to like to just be themselves out here, and just, you know, not be judged by like, and not feel judged by like the society of it. Like, yeah, you know, people get judged for walking the ball. That's, you know, the essence of it. But it's like, I call it just like a big room of like freaks, you know, or just like a big freak show, and everybody loves everybody, and we could just be who we want to be and wear what we want to wear that we can't wear out in public on the day to day. Yeah.
I love that. DJ Pru Flo, you were talking about not necessarily knowing what music to play, but you had to figure it out. So how would you describe what you play at balls now?
It depends on really on the category and what the theme of the ball is. When we were doing our just recent ball, the throwback ball, yes, they did a lot of beats that were inspired by the categories. But before then, to get the crowd into it, I just would play throwback songs. Funny thing is, Pose was a really good teacher for me musically, because back in the day, they didn't have the electronic beats. They didn't have the digital assistants that we have now. So it was, you had to pick the right song that fit the right mood. And it is about reading the audience and seeing what the audience really likes. And that's, again, one of the benefits of my job is I get to read the audience, know what they like, know what's getting them to move, and capitalize on just that.
I love that so much. You know, there's so much lingo that makes its way into mainstream culture. So let's discuss vocabulary, whatever, Vogue speech.
Vocabulary.
Yes, there we go. Vocabulary. Thank you. Thank you so much. What is some of your favorite lingo, the vocabulary that exists in ball culture that is just delicious to you? Mia, I'll start with you.
Oh, let's start with, since you're starting with me, we're going to go 101 in ball culture, and that is face, darling. So it's different ways that you can serve face coming down that runway, and you may not have it all down here, but you could serve face in all different ways, darling. Like I am now, kind of like this. Ooh. And you don't see my feet, but they're moving really fast like Prince used to do and stuff like that, but you're serving face coming down that runway, darling. I love that when people can serve different face and different also the contortion that they would do with their bodies. It's almost like they started yoga. You know, you do downward dogs, and it goes into all these other little moves. You know, and like I said before, regardless of your abilities, there's a category for you. There's a category for you, and the ball culture is for everyone. When I see in ball culture here, and especially in San Diego, a cis woman walking in a ball, I said, okay, it's for everybody. When I see, because primarily back in the day, it was for minorities. A lot of the Latino, a lot of the Black culture, was Puerto Rican culture, were walking in balls. But I see now that it's branched out, and I see my Asian brothers and sisters walking in balls, my Caucasian brothers and sisters walking in balls. I say, girl, you have a ball.
Yes, I love that. So, DJ Pru Flo, I want to ask you what are some of the things you kind of only hear at a ball that like you don't hear that in maybe mainstream or at work or wherever else?
One of the things that I love about it is actually the word that I would suggest is realness. And it's because in that moment, that's their realness. That's their reality. And as you get to see these people walk down and do these categories, it's like, yo, like your reality. I would love to be inside your world, because if you can come out and that's what you're constructing, get it. And that's all I care about. And, you know, the funny thing about realness is if you look at it in the sense of the past, it was all about fitting in and normalcy. And everybody wanted to feel normal. So they walked the categories that made them feel normal. And if that's your normal, is this crazy outside of the box, I love that. And it's the best expression that anybody could ever have.
All right, Strawberry, what about you? What are some of your favorite sort of terms from ballroom?
Well, for me, like being the host, I'm standing right there next to so it's like the judges are here.
Mm-hmm.
We have the commentator, my drag mother, Miss Adonna Solution, the legend. She's commentating, and then people are walking up, and I'm on the mic, and I see that they're not they're not serving it to the judges.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like, serve it to the judges, serve it. But
serve
then
it.
I will say to the audience, is it giving? Is it giving?
Is it giving? Ooh, I like
or you can take it to the next level. Is it giving what it's supposed to be gave? That's my, is she giving what's supposed to be gave? She's not. She's not looking. Her face is not pretty. She's not giving what needs to be gave.
Can I ask a question about a specific move that we now know because it's been done on television a bunch? People call it a death drop, but I was told it was called a dip.
It's called a dip.
It's called a dip, right?
So there's the 5 elements of Vogue,
yes.
And one of them are dip spins. So it's not death drop.
What are the other 4?
So there it is.
At Scripps Hospital at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't do it no more. I do a death roll, no death drops. I roll off stage nowadays. I can't do them death drops here.
Let's just say I always have my phone on dial just in case.
Yeah, so when Mia does a dip, it's called a death drop because she drops dead. But so the 5 elements would be hand performance, and then you have catwalk, and then you have floor performance, and then you have hair, and then you have spins and dips.
Wow. Hair? Like hair?
So if you're...
Ooh, ow, I broke something.
I come off. There you go.
So, what can the community do to support events that are happening within the ball scene?
Just show up.
Yeah.
So the theme, with the ballroom scene here in San Diego, is that it's new and fresh still. The first ball that I had was back in 2016, and I just had my 12th ball, and literally every single ball it is packed out, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and we are being able to see more community, more diversity, more culture because these people are coming out. So the only thing that they could do is just keep coming out, keep showing out, because there's been a couple balls where, people came to watch, but then there was nothing to watch. So, participate and, get creative because, like Mia was saying earlier, not everybody wants to be a drag queen, not everybody wants to be a performer, but somebody probably has an idea in their head that they want to do, and maybe at one of the balls, one of the category calls for that. So they need to come and give what needs to be gave. So they
and speaking of supporting and stuff, if you notice, you viewers out there at the bottom of your screen, we've got some Venmos for our special guests down there. Ways you can support as well. Entertainment has definitely changed, and so it's great when we can support where we can. So how can people get more information if they want to? We're just at the beginning of our chat here, but where can people go to get information about where they can, go watch a ball?
So my Instagram, Strawberry Corncakes, which is right under here. That's where I post all the flyers, all the category info. I post a category flyer before I post the main flyer with all the judges and special guests, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so just follow, Strawberry Corncakes, Strawberry_Corncakes on Instagram, and it'll be there, somewhere because they move around from bar to bar. So it's not just that one place.
I'm already telling you and committing, I'm going. I'm going to go. If not the next one, the one after that.
Okay. Are you walking, though? Are you walking, darling?
That's the most important thing. You better walk.
Can I tell you, I was hosting San Diego Pride, and we were at Viejas Casino, and I was super just thrilled, a 4th year in a row hosting, and then all of a sudden I'm introducing these entertainers, and Got Mick was the headliner, and then Got Mick at the end of their performance was like, I was like, give it up for Got Mick, and they were like, why don't you do a little runway walk for us? And I was like, completely panicked. So I did Guy kind of, whatever kind of bro-y kind of, masculine runway walk into serving you all the things to let the children know. Yeah. I want to ask about what the takeaway is. So what is your hopes when you are putting together a ball, when you're participating in a ball, when you are getting your family ready for a ball? What is your hope that the audience, the people that come to support, that they feel or that they take with them?
Well, for me, so there's my house, the House of Resilience. We are all sisters and we have a brother. I am the founder though. And so when my house walks, first of all, it just brings me joy to see. And then when other houses walk out, like the House of Glam, they came and turned it out at this last ball. It's like, there's just community. So it's like watching a house support another house is just like, it's a good feeling of like community and, togetherness. But yeah, DJ Pru Flo, Mia.
I just need to look in a little bit, darling. So, when it comes to the houses, I want people to leave with a sense of community, and that if you came there alone, that hopefully you saw something that you liked and you want to be a part of. And so when you come there to watch a ball and see a family walk, you want to be a part of. Did I say a part of that family?
You want to be a part of that family?
Y'all be eating a lot of African food over there.
Or start your own house and your own family, because again, regardless of your ability, honey, this is for you.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that so much. That's kind of the San Diego Pride. Now this is the vibe with Jay question part. These are just some things that were on the top of my head. Pose, you kind of referenced it earlier, did give us a window into sort of a fictional story about elements of the origins of ball culture. And, what are some of the differences between that era of ballroom and maybe what it's evolved into today?
I think the most important thing is that back in the day, they had to hide. Today, we all in your face. So there's no more hiding anymore. There's no more closet anymore. We are here. We ain't going nowhere. And so back in the day, it was really more family, really supported culture, where now a lot of people have their biological family and their chosen family, and they can be out in the open and not hide. And so that's one thing that we can really be proud of, because me being a queer man with a masculine father and a mother that both accept me regardless of what I look like when I wake up in the morning or who I feel like when I wake up, I think that is so important to culture, is that we have our support of our family. But if we don't, we have our chosen family, and that's okay too.
That part.
Some of us aren't lucky enough to have supportive parents. Like Mia was saying, my parents have been to gay softball league, come to the bar after. They went to our first Rumor show together when me and Strawberry Corncakes started Rumor. My mom came to that first one with her church friends. And some people don't get that sort of support from their family, that they have to make that for their own. And that's one of the things that I love about watching these houses grow. And they just show that we are there for each other. We are a community of one, and we are trying to be inclusive as possible. And if you can't find your niche in one family, you might find it in another family, but that's for you to figure that out.
Yeah.
And this might be a very ignorant question, but I'm full of them tonight. How do people find a family? Is it just you go to a ball and it might be a friend of a friend and you feel a vibe and you get asked in? I think people automatically think probably fraternity, sorority. Like, I don't know if people know necessarily how families are formed.
So the thing here with San Diego, and I'll just say this really quick, just a little PSA for everybody. San Diego ballroom scene is a lot different from a lot of the typical ballroom cities. New York, Atlanta, LA, stuff like that. It's not your traditional ballroom city. We're a drag city. San Diego is really known for our drag. So there's not like there's not really ballroom houses here, but there's drag houses, and so the drag houses are what's representing as houses. Now for my house, we are going into that route, because not everybody that is in my house now are performers, and not everybody in my house even does drag. But for me, when I first started my house, there was someone who came to my first ball and was like, "Oh my God, like what you're doing for like, you know, people like us is like everything, blah, blah, blah." And then I took that person under my wing, and then I started the House of Resilience. And then I saw another person at a show, and I was just like, I see a lot of myself in that queen. And I was like, hey, you know, and I saw that they needed a little bit of guidance. And so I took them under my wing, and we were just like, you know, cute little house, whatever. Pandemic happened, things changed. And now I have just like a house full of like some bad bitches, you know, and they slay, like Mia was saying, like everybody does something else. Like we have my sister Annabelle Valentino, she sews the house down. I will probably end up making some cookies on a sewing machine. I don't know what to do, you know, I don't. And then we have Jaslini's Coast, who could vogue the house down. I can't vogue to save my life, but she could hella vogue. And we have Miss Crystal Bullet, who does stunts and flips and tricks and all that stuff, you know. So it's a lot, but they're within like a ballroom house, and I do take from that, you know. When somebody needs a place to stay, come stay with me, you know. If somebody needs, you know, money or food, okay, here's a little bit of coin, here's some food, like come over, I'm gonna feed you, you know, let's handle it. So within like how Paris is Burning or Pose or even on Legendary with some of the stories, a lot of it is they go to the ball and then they walk a category, but they're by themselves. They're like a 007, they're solo. And, you know, a drag mother or a drag father, or I mean, sorry, not a drag mother, a house mother and a house father might view them and then, you know, take them under their wing and, you know, become their parent, their ballroom parent.
I love that. So Mia, you know, I kind of want to ask you the same question, like what the differences are between, you know, I mean, you kind of mentioned it before, but, you know, because we have Pose, which is like a timepiece, but a certain era. Then we have Legendary, which has elements of the ballroom scene, but then some TV stuff added to it. So like what are, if I go to, you said there's a lot of categories, but if I go to a ball in San Diego and I go see your house, like, are there massive differences of how it feels as opposed to maybe my only idea of it would be Paris is Burning or Pose?
Well, I think one of the most important things when it comes to my house and a lot of other houses I've seen it in San Diego is that we're inclusive. And for me, as a mother of the house, I look for individuals who appear who are broken because I want to fix you. I want to show you that there is a place for you. And I want to help you define your talent. And I think that is so important. When you see a new face in town, someone in the back of the room that's by themselves, you grab them and you develop. Some people snatch with new kids. They come into town, they're like, "Ooh, a new face." They come into our house. But you have to help develop these children, these young people, and let them know what the culture is about. And also, you kind of keep them safe and help them learn the ropes of what it's like to be in the community. And I look for people who want to serve the community outside of the club scene, because the club scene is only for a few hours, but the community is for a lifetime. And so I look for people who will go outside of the club scene and do community work, do nonprofit work. And that's one thing I want to tie into with at the bottom. If you do donate to me, 100% goes back into the community. 100% is all nonprofit. So I want to just say that is that I just get so emotional when I talk about it. I'm just kidding. About
emotions. What?
about bringing in people. It's so important to be inclusive and bring in people to your house and just show them the ropes when it comes to the ball scene.
I love that. DJ Pru Flo, that's incredible. Makes me want to join a house. DJ Pru Flo, you've seen a lot. You know, DJ, you've witnessed a lot. So my question is, in ball cultures, people take it to the floor. And so how competitive are balls? And is the beef real?
Okay, I can tell you this. The drag community in San Diego is amazing. I'll start off saying that. RuPaul's Drag Race girls have nothing on the girls that come out of San Diego. I'm sorry.
Local queens.
Support your local queens for sure. So when I say that, it is cutthroat. I have seen some voguing battles that I've just been like, yo, wow, I'm left on the floor dead. And I love it because it shows how hungry and how passionate they are about their craft. One in particular, Friday, she teaches Vogue lessons online, and I love how her dedication she is to her craft and how much she practices it. And when she does come to these balls, just like Jazzleen East Coast, they can both Vogue battle out of respect, and it would be so cutthroat on the floor. But then when that music is done, they both hug each other because they know that it's a respectful battle. And it's not one of those things where I'm gonna hate on you because you outvoted me. It was we brought it here, we put it on the floor, now it's done, and it's up to the judges. And at the end of the day, we're still gonna be together. We're still gonna be family.
To hop on that. If anything, people are gonna be upset with the judges.
Exactly.
So the judges
is there that way? So Strawberry, are people like
cars?
So they really are.
Oh yeah. Your beef in a Vogue battle, your beef should never be with the person you are voguing against. It should be against the judges, because those are the ones that are really giving you the scores. The person that you're just voguing against is doing the same thing that you're doing, putting their heart and soul on the dance floor and on that runway and showing how they express themselves.
Mia, here's
I want to piggyback off of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, you have to remember the judges are most likely donating their time. And so judges should not they should come after the judge after the show if they lost, because, the judges, and I've judged several shows here in San Diego. Recently I've judged more than I've walked in. And I did see a young queen go after a judge quite rudely after she lost, and she deservedly lost. When you have holes in your outfit and your high heel is falling off and it's partly glued on and your wig is partially falling off and your makeup's not right, you don't go after a judge when someone turned it in front of everyone. So, we have to remember that we are still all a family. And a lot of us still participating in the ballroom scene are people of color. And I really want us to come together. And this is an opportunity. The ballroom scene is really a new door that's opening, and an opportunity for people of color to branch, especially the trans community, the gay community, the non-binary community, the masculine community. There's all these different groups that have a place in the ballroom scene. And this is really our chance to branch a lot of these groups together and mend a lot of these things together. And again, don't go after the judges, darling. We're just doing our job.
Got it. You got it. You kind of touched on it, but what kind of financial investment is this, Mia? I mean, with all the costumes and all that stuff, I mean, is it a crazy financial commitment to participate?
No, the beauty of the ballroom scene compared to the drag scene. I will spend to do a show. I will spend a couple $100, maybe $300-400 to do a show, and may not make that much back. But I know my drag was good and my show was good. You can go in and do a ballroom show and start off at Dollar Tree, and then embellish and add. It's completely different.
All about your creativity. It's all about
it's all about
absolutely.
Creativity.
You could start with the hot glue gun and this and that. And that's what I love, the creativity, and that's one thing that's really different about drag, is that drag, there's these high expectations, partially because of drag has made it so elevated in television because of Drag Race. But the ballroom scene, you come as you are. And that's really wonderful. So you can wear $10 fedora from the swap meet and a $1. This came from the Dollar Tree. This came from Amazon's. This I stole. So you can come as you are.
You crazy lady.
Fabulous.
I love it. All right, so I'm going to take it to strawberry corn cakes. By the way, if just joining us, I'm chatting with some incredible people from the ballroom scene in San Diego. Strawberry corn cakes, of course. We've got Mia Pearl and DJ Pru Flo. If you want to find out more information about them, we have their social media scrolling at the bottom of this feed. There's a time also for questions. So if you are something perked your interest, go ahead and fill up that comment section with your questions, and we'll get to them in just a couple seconds here. So I want to ask you, strawberry corn cakes, what some of the biggest lessons that ball culture has taught you?
Make sure you glue down your wig.
Triple that.
101.
Lord knows I
Who
don't
down
need
there?
another wig. I do not need another wig flying off and landing on my DJ turntable.
Okay, we don't need to.
Never again. It was automatic. You gotta go. Yeah.
Honestly, what the ballroom culture has taught me is that everybody, and not in a negative way, but everybody is sensitive. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be loved, and mostly everybody wants to be appreciated. Because some of these people that come out to these balls, like, are looking for, acceptance. And before, when I first started the ballroom scene here, I was just like, oh, let's put together a little event, and then the more and more it gets emotional. At the last ball, DJ Pru Flo, you were there. Yeah. How many people were crying for so many reasons? Because there was just it was a room full of vulnerable people showcasing themselves, and it was just crazy emotional. So that's one thing ballroom culture has taught me, that everybody needs acceptance, everybody needs love, and everybody needs, a place to showcase themselves.
Yeah, I love that. I have a question for DJ Pru Flo, and it's the same one. What has ball culture taught you? What is something that it's a takeaway for you?
It definitely has shown me that as small as we are as a community, we have the biggest hearts in the world, and we have the biggest love for each other in the world. Seeing the love of that last ball, even I was on the DJ deck just boo-hooing because there was so much love. It was just seeing everybody out there, the House of Glam, they walked. It was just amazing. Seeing some of these people that I have never seen before ever in my life, just out of nowhere. Another one in particular, Sky Lady Boy, came over and was from LA and said, I'm gonna walk every category that I feel like I want to walk. And she presented herself on every single category. And that's why we make this. We want to make sure that we want to share our love with the community. And this is how we do it. We put on these ballroom events. And yes, they're not like the ones in LA. Yes, they're not like the ones in New York. And yes, they're not like the ones in Atlanta, but they're the ones for us here in San Diego.
Exactly.
The reason why we make our own is because we don't need to be like anybody else.
Yeah.
Excuse my French, but F the Joneses. We are the Joneses. And frankly, we don't want to be like anybody else. I personally don't want to be another DJ Khaled, or I don't want to be any other DJ. I know that Strawberry doesn't want to be any other drag queen. She wants to just be Strawberry. I want to be DJ Pru Flo. So when we make these balls, we made them because this is for us, and this is how we feel we want to express ourselves.
Yeah, I love that, because you're authentic in that being yourselves is enough. What about the misconceptions that people may have about ball culture? What do you think people are getting wrong? They think it's what?
A lot of people think that it's so when you watch Paris is Burning and you watch Legendary and you even on Pose, you see, the MC, the pray tell, the be very cutthroat, and very vicious. Yes, that does happen. It does. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot more love than what they portray on like TV and like, you know, like Paris to Bring. There's a lot more love. Like you hear me and DJ Pru Flo talking about it because that's just what it is. Especially, and I'm just talking about here in San Diego. Everything that comes out of my mouth, I'm only talking about San Diego ballroom culture because I don't want the DMs to get filled again. But but yeah, so it's like it's not as vicious and it's not as cutthroat and like I want to say negative that people think it is. It's like there's a lot of love in there,
and there's a lot of constructive.
There are disagreements, and there are judges yelling at a contestant or a contestant trying to come for all the judges or come for me. That does happen, but there is a lot of love involved.
I love it. Mia Pearl, let's talk about your favorite memory from a ball.
Oh, favorite memory from a ball. Okay, I will get to that. I do want to say tell you what I've learned from the ball culture though. And that is a sense of responsibility. Because when you sit at the head of a household, everyone looks to you for mother, what is the look? Mother, what is the walk? Mother, what do I do? Mother, what do I wear? And these young people, I know they have a sense of responsibility because they're building this ballroom culture back up in San Diego. So I'm sure they feel a sense of responsibility as well. And with regard to, what was your question, darling?
Favorite ballroom memory.
Oh, favorite ballroom memory. Oh, I would say body.
Oh,
body. And me, I don't know if you can tell, but I weigh over 125 pounds. And so for me to serve body, walking down, you would laugh.
Tell the viewer, in case they don't know, what walking body means.
Why you lying, Mia? Why you lying?
I'm just waiting for
I weigh just over 125 pounds. And yes, and I still walk on 6 inch still.
I don't see how you can do that.
Oh, it's so easy.
Be pumping in these 6 inch. I'm like, never.
It's so easy for me. Just ask my bunions. And so for me to come out as a big person, as a big girl, and walk that baby, that's my favorite category would be body.
I love that. So here's something that we kind of end always every time we chat with different artists, musicians. It's really just about your vibe. So I'll go to DJ Pru Flo. If I were to go to a ball and I were to see you spin, hear you, be in your vibe, how would you describe your vibe?
Oh my gosh.
I'll say this, but DJ Pru Flo is present, but at the same time, he's in his own world because he's providing like a quality service. But so his vibe is very much chillax. And it's very much like, let's get this job done. And I'll say that.
She's right. I'm actually very mellow and very calm. In a lot of the crazy situations, just like when I was DJing at Viejas at Pride, when you could have looked at me like I was just like, it's just another night. Let's just do this. I'm very mellow and calm and cool-headed in a lot of crazy situations. But when it comes to the music, though, I'm on point. I'm making sure that you're gonna do that dip and you're gonna do that dip and you're gonna reveal that tearaway and you're gonna do that at the right beat because it's gonna happen. And
all right.
And my vibe is masculine. I describe
what?
Masculine.
Masculine. I like that. Yeah. I think I had that for lunch the other day. Strawberry, what's your vibe? If I were to go if I want to go to a ball, you're hosting, you're walking, you're performing. How would you describe the vibe I'm about to encounter?
So
professional. She's the most professional host ever. She's on top of everything. If I think I'm early, she's already beat me there. She's the most professional, hands down, fair person I've ever worked with. And I've worked with her for a lot of these balls and events. And I thought that I was a workhorse. She's the biggest workhorse there is. And I'm always amazed, proud, and admire the dedication you put into not only your drag, but also the balls, rumor, everything.
Well, I want to just go ahead and just ask some of the questions that have come in. Thank you for asking those questions. Where do you want to see ballroom in 5 years from now?
Ballroom in 5 years from now here in San Diego, I really want to see I mean, they're already packed right now, and you know, people are walking more categories, but I want to see a ball start at 8 o'clock and end at 4 a.m. Like, I want people to like walk these categories and show themselves and just really like, you know, uplift, you know, the queer culture, their creativity, and just come out of the woodworks, you know, because that's what happens. Like me, DJ Pru Flo and Mia Pearl has been in this scene for a long time. And me and DJ Pru Flo kind of started, you know, the same. I was a baby queen, and he was the DJ. He was the DJ of the drag show that I was inducted in for the first time ever. And so we're out here in these streets, but it wasn't until like these balls that we started seeing people that we don't see. So in 5 years from now, I want the balls to just continue to grow. I want the categories to be bigger, longer. Well, it sounds like I'm not talking about categories now. But I just want to see more people, more face, more participation.
Well, I'm definitely coming to see a ball with you. Mia, we're going to give you a smoke break because we're wrapping it up here. But tell the children all the stuff. Tell them where they can find you, because we got another question. Where can I go support a ball? I know, Strawberry, you give a little information. Let me start with Mia. How can the children find you? Where are you going to be? How can they follow you on the socials? I know it's scrolling, but just so we have it visually.
Absolutely. The children can find me on Facebook. Mia Pearl on Facebook, MIA space Pearl. And on Instagram, it's Empress San Diego. Also, I want to say what a ball scene would be in 5 years, darling.
Yes.
I want to see cis men and cis women walking balls. I want there not to be a drag con or a comic con. I want there to be a ball con. Would that be wonderful?
Yeah, just a big old, yes.
I want us to turn Coronado Bridge into a giant runway.
There'll be some long ass steps.
San Diego Pride, make it happen. We gotta make it happen. Strawberry Corncakes, where can the children find you, and how can they get involved if they want to go see, support, or even be part of a ball?
So all I can say is the next ball is going to be at Moe's, September 11th at 8 o'clock. Once they go to that, then they can find out the info for the next one. Because right now, September 11th is the only one planned, but there are some working. But so September 11th at Moe's at 8 o'clock, $5 for participants, $10 for spectators. We'll have the House of Balmain from the show Legendary participating, and LaDon Balmain, who's also from the house but was not on the show. They'll be coming down, so it's going to be a very fun
packed
ball. Yeah.
I do want to mention that I'm producing a ball that's in February. I didn't want to mention it because it's so far off, but it's time to prepare because it's international. So it would be Canada, United States, and Mexico, and it's at the Marriott Hotel in Mission Valley in February. So please go on to my Facebook page because we'll be posting about that. But yes, there's a huge ball that will be happening at the Marriott Hotel, and I expect Corncakes House will be there, darling, walking to snatch some trophies.
That's what we do.
DJ Pru Flo, where can the people find you? How can they follow you? How can they support you?
Let's see. You know what? You can actually just follow me mainly on Instagram, Ryan Aford. I'm always posting all of the DJ events that I'm working at, all the shows that I'm always constantly producing, throwing on. Definitely, if you really want to find me, I'm usually always at number 1 on 5th. That is like my home bar. I love it there.
Give yourself some credit. Ryan is the entertainment manager at number 1 on 5th.
Yeah.
So all the drag shows, all the DJs go through DJ Pru Flo at number 1 on 5th.
I know where to get my next booking at. I want to thank Strawberry Corncakes and Mia Pearl, DJ Pru Flo. I'm Jay Rodriguez with Vibe with Pride. Make sure if you have a moment to stop on by San Diego Pride's website and consider making a donation. They do incredible work. I want to thank all my guests today. And remember, no matter how you vibe, make sure you vibe with Pride. I'll see you on September 16th for our next Vibe with Pride. See you soon. Stay safe.